All right, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar on the UPS Teamster strike vote and next steps in the UPS contract campaign. So we're going to get started right now. My name is Jared Hamill. I'm a package car driver, shop steward from Teamsters Local 396 in Los Angeles, California. I'm also a proud member of TDU. Today's call is sponsored by UPS Teamsters United. UPS Teamsters United is a project of Teamsters for a Democratic Union. We're a network of stewards and Teamster activists who inform and involve members to win better contracts and build worker power. We are independent of the IBT, and we are 100% in support of the International Union's contract campaign. So good morning, everybody. This week, UPS Teamsters nationwide are voting in a historic strike authorization vote. So we're going to talk today about what that means, and we'll share strategies for turning out a huge yes vote. We need to send UPS a message that we're ready to strike if that's what it takes to get a good contract. We'll also talk about next steps on the contract and contract campaign actions beyond the strike vote. We're going to go over new contract campaign materials and ready to strike gear. After the call, we'll text and email you a take action form, fill it out to get involved, and order contract campaign signs, leaflets, and other action items. And then we're going to follow up with a call and get everything you need. And at the end of the webinar, we're going to have a question and answer. Use the Q&A function to send in your questions, and we'll cover as many as we can. I know people are going to send a lot, so we're just do our best to get as many done as possible. Our strike deadline is 52 days away. So people, it's crunch time. Let's get started, okay? On Wednesday night, General President Sean O'Brien gave an update on what's happened in the contract negotiations up to this point. There have been 12 days of negotiations and 24 tentative agreements reached. That includes a ban on driver-facing cameras, SurePost language that will protect our work by directing more packages away from the post office and back to UPS, higher penalty pay for payroll violations when the company wants to short you, and new discrimination language, and there's a lot more. General President O'Brien went through every single one of the tentative agreements reached so far, and you can watch a video of his report on the UPS Teamsters app, or you can go to the Teamsters YouTube channel and watch it there too. So the biggest issues are still yet to come, including eliminating 22/4s, higher part-time wages, more full-time 22/3 jobs, 4/6 punch, my personal favorite, 8-hour requests, subcontracting, PVDs, and of course, the big one, wages, healthcare, and pension improvements. Sean said he expects to put the economic package on the table in the next couple of weeks, and that makes sense to be backed up with a strike authorization vote before you do that. So, to talk about the strike authorization vote, I want to introduce a member of the National Negotiating Committee, a fighter for the rank and file, Local 251 business agent from Providence, Rhode Island, and fellow Paisan, Matt Maney. Matt.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's all well and everybody's doing okay on this day. I'm here to talk to you about the upcoming strike vote. The strike vote came without a lot of notice, and there's been some confusion in some areas, but it's really straightforward. It's very important for us to exercise our right to vote for strike. A strike vote does not mean we're going on a strike. It means that we're authorizing the National Negotiation Committee to call a strike August 1st if the company tries to make us accept a substandard offer. A yes vote can help avoid a strike because it shows the company that we are ready to stop deliveries and shut down the company effective August 1st. If you want a contract you deserve, which I know we all do, We need to show the company we are united and ready to strike to win. That's the entire National Negotiation Committee has recommended a yes vote on this, myself included. Striking is something that we don't want to do, but if we have to, we will do it. And showing a unified front by voting yes overwhelmingly proves to the company that we're all about action. The ballot is very simple. It will look like this. As you can see right here on your screen, it's a secret ballot. The strike authorization vote is organized by each local. Voting can be at your union hall, at a hotel, or even in UPS parking lots like my own local. At Local 251, we're holding the strike vote two different ways. We're having it at the union hall and at the gates to accommodate all our rank and file to make sure everybody has a voice and participates in the strike vote. Voting will be held through Thursday, June 15th. At the International Union, will announce the results Friday, June 16th. I can't emphasize enough, brothers and sisters, if you want a great contract, vote yes to strike UPS and give us the authorization to have that power at the table so that we can get the best possible contract that we're entitled to. Brother O'Brien has been very clear there that standing up and fighting back against corporate greed involves all of us, not just some of us. So please exercise your right and vote yes to shut down the big brown machine. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. As Brother Maney said, just as he explained, a strike vote is about solidarity. It's about sending the message that we're united and we're ready to take them on. The strike vote's also an opportunity to talk with your coworkers, answer their questions, and build our strike threat. TDU and UPS Teamsters United have materials to help you do that. So go to the UPS Teamsters website and download a Q&A from the International Union and a vote yes to authorize a strike leaflet. A lot of people on this call have been building voter turnout in their locals and boosting our strike threat, and we're going to hear from them now. I want to call first on Willie Ford. He's an International Union trustee, a member of the National Negotiating Committee, and president of Local 71. Willie?
Thanks a lot, Jared. Good morning, everyone. I'm glad you could be on the call. What we're doing in Local 71, we're conducting a strike vote and we're making it convenient for the members. We're doing it at the gates. And also we have a schedule at the hall for those members that can't actually attend, that may be working various shifts as well. We have a weekly schedule and we're going to continue this effort throughout the week. The members are very enthusiastic and they ask lots of questions, and those questions are definitely being answered. The turnout is great, and we will continue to work forward to get a successful strike vote. The stewards are very helpful in the process, as well as the business agents, and many of the stewards have attended the town halls. The recent one, as late as Wednesday past, General President, and with General Secretary Treasurer Zuckerman as well. We still have a long way to go, and we need the strike authorization to get us over the top. We're going to stay at the gates and continue making progress in the coming days. So we encourage all of you to be a part of this and ask your friends as well as co-workers to participate in getting the contract that we deserve by voting yes. Thanks, Jerry.
You are muted, brother.
Well, that would help if I unmuted myself. Thank you. Next, I want to call on a dynamic duo who've been turning out the vote in Local 439 in Stockton, California. Feeder driver Nicole Halliday and feeder steward Jeremy Brake.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nicole Halliday. I'm a feeder driver out of Local 439 in Stockton, California. When they announced the vote earlier this week, we were able to kind of hit the ground running. Over the past like 6 months, we've kind of laid the groundwork for being able to have a successful vote so far. We've been having parking lot meetings where we were updating our members on the contract and contract negotiations. We've been passing out the IBT contract updates and the UPS Teamsters United palm cards, which covered part-timer issues. When they announced it, we were having a parking lot meeting already, and so we moved the focus from talking about the possible authorization strike vote to actually doing it. We wanted to reach our members, so we decided to do it at the gate. We also offer, as of today, voting at our hall. When they announced it, it was a little bit confusing, a little bit of chaos, but we were able to do it. Our union officers got behind us 100%. They created the voting committee, they got us the ballots, and we were able to attack the gates with a lot of success. And our focus was mostly reaching our members. Chair.
You're muted, Jeremy.
All right, sorry about that. I just wanted to add something, that I am a very diehard union militant, and the one thing I was surprised by was the part-timers aren't who we need to worry about. The part-timers are so for this. I was shocked by one guy who sticks out to me. I was talking to him, and he didn't even want the flyer. He didn't even want the FAQ. All he wanted to know is, where does he sign to strike these motherfuckers? And it was so shocking to hear that. And then like everybody started hooting and hollering and screaming. So I just want everybody to know that, you know, these part-timers, we got their backs and they got our backs. So we can't forget about these guys. And I also don't want anybody to ever forget about that moment when Dennis Taylor pushed the contract through with us having the no vote 5 years ago. This is the potential to be the biggest labor movement in our century, and I just don't think that we could like let it pass us by, basically. So you know, we need to get out there, get out to the gates, and we got to turn out this fucking vote. So let's get behind our union leadership and let's do what we got to do.
Thank you. Nicole and Jeremy have been getting members to vote at UPS. Omar Moreno is a local 572 shop steward in 22-3 in Gardena, California. Personal friend of mine. He's turning out members to vote at the Union Hall. Let's hear from Omar.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Omar Moreno. I'm a 22.2 full-time preloader shop steward out of local 572 in Gardena, California. I'm in a big local with one UPS building. Our building is an 8-hour preload, so issues inside are huge for us. We've held Teamsters United contract action trainings. We update the members about the contract and build unity around the issues. Unfortunately, our local is only conducting voting at the Union Hall. So we are organizing and doing our best to increase participation. We made custom flyers of numerous workers in various classifications, talking about the array of issues that needed to be fixed. We stress being unified in voting, yes, for a good contract. We handed out flyers yesterday and today. We are emailing, texting, and calling our coworkers to encourage participation and the importance of voting. This is a great opportunity to have those highly important one-on-one conversations with our coworkers. We are informing, educating, and mobilizing. We will be at the local Union Hall while voting is taking place, encouraging those members that vote to contact their coworkers and encourage them to come down and cast their vote.
Thank you, Omar. Paul Dwiggins is organizing strike authorization votes at UPS buildings across the state of Indiana. I'm sure that's a challenge. How's it going over there, Paul?
Thank you, Jared. Appreciate everybody, all the panelists and everybody that came on this morning. It is a challenge for us. We have 4 locations in the NG metro area, and then we have 7 outlying areas that we also need to cover. So we're going to do a multifaceted approach. It times out. We have a general membership meeting tomorrow morning. So as soon as that meeting is over, we're going to conduct an in-person vote at the Union Hall. And then we have a team of volunteers that is going to help us, along with business agents, hit all of our gates and make sure that everybody has the opportunity to vote. And one of the greatest things I've seen, a lot of people have requested to come on through our WhatsApp, which we learned through TDU is a very useful tool. And a lot of these members that haven't volunteered for things in the past are coming on board and want to help out with this process. So we've got other locations that are squared up for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we're going to be out at our 2 largest facilities 24 hours on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday. So we're going to do everything we can to spread the message that this is very important. We only get an opportunity every 5 years. So everybody's vote needs to be counted, and we're encouraging them to vote yes. So thank you very much, Jared.
All right. More than half of UPS Teamsters are part-timers. Don Belcastro, can you say a word about how outreach is going to part-timers in Portland, local 162?
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Yeah, so I'm out of Portland, Oregon, local 162. I'm a part-timer. I'll have 2 years seniority by the end of this summer. And yeah, our local is doing voting at the hall. So, you know, this rollout has been different everywhere, and we weren't sure exactly how voting was going to go. So we're a little behind on organizing carpools, but our group is attempting to, you know, go to the guard shacks, ask, you know, do you know where the Union Hall is? Do you know you get a vote on the strike authorization vote? And we've been handing out the $25 starting pay petitions as a way to, you know, get people to think about what they need from this contract and using their vote to make sure that they get what they need. Out in Portland, we have an MRA of $23 right now. So the $25 petition is a $2 raise, you know, not as big as everybody else, but it's a popular demand. People see $25, they say, yes, I will sign. We got full-timers who, when they become 22-3s, they take a pay cut. So they're really into the $25 starting pay. But yeah, I really just want to get as many part-timers to participate in this contract as possible. I'm lucky. I have a house of Teamsters. My brother, my roommate, we all work on the same shift. So when I can get everybody out at the same time, we got a 3-man tabling crew. But yeah, I've got about, I think my rough estimate is 80 signatures of my twilight shift out of about 200 people. So we're doing pretty good, but we're going to keep hitting the guard shack next week and just turn out the vote, make sure people either have a way to get to the hall or some way to find someone who can get them there. But yeah, we're going to keep the heat up. We're going to get what we need as part-timers. And yeah, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing.
Thank you, Dom. Throughout the contract campaign, members in Colorado, local 455, have really stepped up their game and gotten organized. Nate Timmons, how's the strike vote turnout going over there? Nate?
Morning, everybody. As you said, I'm Nate Timmons, package car driver out of Aurora, Colorado. Been a shop steward for coming up on a year now. Our building's fired up to vote yes for this strike authorization vote, and that's been because of an effort that stewards and members have been pushing, trying to get everybody organized, trying to get information out there. We got activated as soon as we heard this strike authorization vote was happening. We had a member print off flyers that our local had made, brought them down to the building. We passed them out. We had people taking pictures of the flyers, just trying to get people to be aware that this was happening. So our local's doing it 2 different ways. They're going to be they're asking us to come to the Union Hall this Sunday to vote in person. And they will also be going out to the gates throughout the week. They'll be in our Aurora Center Tuesday, the 13th, to collect those votes. What I've found in this process is we've had a lot of younger members that want to get involved. And the best part about the Teamsters and being a UPS Teamster is we have guys that just started and we have guys that have been there for 30 plus years. And we're finding as we're getting them together through parking lot rallies that members have put together, through group chats that we've started, that we're able to bring guys together and really get knowledge shared, because that's what we have. The other thing we made a goal of trying to get about 75 guys, 75 drivers from our building to go on Sunday, show up at 10 a.m. together, just to show that we are unified out of Aurora. And then afterwards, we're like, hey, let's all go out together, grab some breakfast, hang out, talk shop, and just, do what we're doing to get this authorization vote pushed through and show our unity and show our strength. And remember, we are the best workforce in the country, and let's prove it to these guys.
Thank you, Nate. The strike vote is our next step in showing management we're united, but it's not the last step. Send management the message that you're ready to strike with a Ready to Strike t-shirt, $25 plus shipping at the online TDU store. One of my coworkers, a buddy of mine, and I know he's on the call, he wears his all the time at work, and management, I'm sure, hates it. They're turning their heads, scares them, and that's what we need to be doing. In lots of buildings, members are taking orders from drivers and part-timers and placing bulk orders. And it's a great way to show unity, marching in the building, everybody wearing those t-shirts. If you order 10 or more of those shirts, they're just $20, including shipping. So if you want to do this, let us know on the take action form at the end, and we'll make a plan to get you what you need. Okay. So our strike threat is heating up, and so are the temperatures. The temperatures is already like in the high 90s and 100 and over 100 in parts of California, Arizona, many parts of the Southwest. So it's getting hot. I mean, last year I remember clocking the inside of my truck at 135. And management, they have their PCMs. They talk a lot of hot air about cooling solutions. They just handed out those new, hats and those sleeves and whatever. But we're facing the same problems that we faced last year. So last year, thousands of UPSers across the country suffered heat-related illnesses from working in extreme temperatures, and some even died, including a guy from our local, Esteban Chavez. He was just 24 years old and he died in the truck. TDU steering committee member and local 804 organizer Antonio Rosario has been organizing around heat safety for over a year, and he recently spoke with Chavez's mother. Tony?
Hey, brother. Thank you for that. Yeah, I did recently get a chance to actually speak with Gina Perez, which is Esteban Chavez's mother, and she was really, really, broken up about, obviously, she just lost her child. No one should have to die. I mean, this has been a tale as old as time with heat, dealing with it over the years. I mean, we've all dealt with it, the part-timers and the full-timers together. This is something that we all share in common, whether it be inside the truck or in the warehouse. We all know about the ice machines in the facilities, that they're all pretty much dirty. For all we know, they have mold on them and all kinds of bacteria. My brother actually works for a company that cleans out ice machines and tells me how often and regularly they have to be cleaned. And I can tell you that this company is not doing that. They look disgusting if they're even working, right? Because a lot of times these ice machines aren't even working. We need to fight to get air conditioning in the facilities, proper ventilation. We need to get proper ventilation and air conditioning in our vehicles. We need to fight for these things. Last year at 804, we started a heat campaign, a Feel the Heat campaign, where we had a lot of workers taking temperatures inside their vehicles, which Jared just mentioned. He took one of his. It kind of spread throughout the country, and locals were doing everywhere, thanks to the help of many TDUers who were very active. And it became like a really huge thing. We saw temperatures going from 130 to 150 even. One of our brothers in local 728 in Georgia actually baked cookies on his dashboard, chocolate chip cookies. Jason Hawk, thank you for that picture. It's just amazing. Speaking to Esteban Chavez's mother, she spoke about how he was drinking a lot of water and how the company was telling him he was using the bathroom too much, and that he started to say he was worried that he was going to get reprimanded, so he stopped drinking so much water. I mean, it's pretty sad when you hear about the story of what he went through as just a young driver, just starting to drive out, and how proud he was to be a UPSer, and the way he went down was just so sad. We can't let that happen. Not one person, not one, should have to die for the profits of this company. Not one. Mother Jones famously once said, "Mourn the death, but fight for the living." And that's what we're doing. So we have to fight. We have to continue the fight. We have to make sure that no one else has to be hospitalized or even has to die for this company. Spread that word, spread that message. Let the members know how important it is to vote. Let the members know how you're being treated. We all share things in common, whether you're full-time or part-time, and we have to come together. Just like we did in 97, we can do it again in August in 2023. Let's make it happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. Are you guys fired up? Because I am. Look, we got to keep fighting. The National Negotiating Committee is demanding a series of changes to Article 18 to address this issue, from air conditioning to ice to water to fans and ventilation. And so to back up these days, the International Union is launching a campaign to make UPS feel the heat, with a national media campaign. Most importantly, though, with actions from UPS Teamsters like us from around the country. So a key part of this campaign is to have thousands of members fill out heat, hydration, and harassment violation forms at the gates. These violation forms will be turned into our National Health and Safety Committee, and that's going to be taken up with the company at national negotiations. And you can get those violation forms and rally signs from your local union or from TDU. And from there, you can set up a table, go to the gates, and have members fill out these violation forms, and then you can turn them in right there at the gates. So our fight here is also to win more paid holidays. It's another piece of the Make UPS Feel the Heat campaign. So to talk about that is a shop steward, Antoine Andrews from Local 804 in New York. Antoine.
Thank you, Brother Jared. Thank you for that introduction. As you mentioned, my name is Antoine Andrews, proud Teamster of Local 804, TDU member and organizer. Yes, Jared, we definitely need these paid holidays. Every company should acknowledge MLK Day and Juneteenth as a holiday. We have fought, Martin Luther King has fought for freedom and justice and also peace for all people. And he has made it his promise to make labor, the labor movement, and the civil rights movement as one. And Juneteenth, being a national holiday that was passed in 2021, should be made a holiday as well. And these holidays, it's not about just a paid holiday, but a holiday that is meaningful for many people. And shame on United Parcel Service, who are based in Atlanta, Georgia, the hometown of Martin Luther King, for not honoring this paid holiday. Brothers and sisters, the only way we're going to get this is by standing united as one. And in Local 804, we are standing united. We are ready for a strong contract. And I encourage everyone to stand united and vote yes for a strike if we have to, for the betterment of the hardworking men and women. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Damn right, Antoine. All right. So we're going to open this up to question and answer soon. And so you can use the Q&A function to send in your questions. We're here to share information, but most importantly, though, we're here to take action. And so after this call, you'll get an email with the vote yes on the strike vote leaflet and the question and answer. You'll also get a take action form by text and email. So you can fill it out to help turn out a huge yes vote to authorize a strike. You can also get ready to strike t-shirts for your members where you work. Remember, bulk orders are 20 a piece. Also, you can order make UPS feel the heat signs. I want to get a couple of those. Get heat hydration harassment violation forms and get help building the contract campaign wherever you work. A Teamster is going to call you and they're going to get you what you need. So let me just tell you, this is what TDU and our UPS Teamsters United campaign is all about. Teamsters helping Teamsters organize members and building power, building union power. And if you believe in that mission, I urge you, join TDU and make this happen. A 1-year membership is only $50 and it comes with a free Ready to Strike hoodie. I need to get one of those hoodies. So sign me up again. I'll pay $100 for a hoodie. Thank you. So here we're gonna open it up. We have a few minutes for question and answer. If you have a question, use the Q&A function. So let's hear some of the questions.
All right. Thanks, Jared. I'm going to throw some questions back to you that have been coming in the Q&A box. But first, I've got a little bit of a technical question that a member had about the strike authorization vote that I'm going to ask David Levine, the TDU staff director, to answer. So a question that came in is, why is the mailing not done by, why is the strike vote this time not being conducted by mail or electronic vote like it's been done in the past? David, can you give us that answer?
I can. Having a hard time turning on my video, but I can answer the question. Can you hear me, Jared?
Yes.
Okay, so Sean actually addressed this issue in the national webinar. One thing that he said about it was that a goal was to boost member participation when this had been done by mail in the past. Participation had been low. I think that there's another issue, and it's not so useful to compare this vote to votes in the past. There was a strike vote last time. It was completely phony. Members knew we weren't going to strike. The company knew we weren't going to strike. Members voted the contract down, and it was imposed on them by the international union leadership. It's a completely different day right now. We have new leadership. Members around the country are mobilizing to fight for a good contract. As our brother Matt Maney and others have said on the call, the strike vote is about solidarity. It is, we've seen it in the chat, and people are speaking to, people were surprised by the strike vote. There wasn't a lot of advance notice. It's not that easy to participate in some places, and that's frustrating. I think what we need to do is, one, if you're in a place where the strike vote is happening and members can participate, we just have to focus on building participation. And two, if you're in a place where you're not going to be able to overcome those obstacles, then we should be talking about the other steps that we can take: parking lot meetings, leafleting, rallies, this Make UPS Feel the Heat campaign, all the other things that we can do to continue to build solidarity, build unity, because that's what ultimately this is about. We're going to have strike authorization, and we need to keep building a credible strike threat. That's how we're going to win a strong contract.
Thank you, Dave.
Great. Another question go ahead, Jared. You want to add on that?
No. Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, this is a perfect time to get out at the gates, talk to your coworkers. We've got, only a couple of days, but I would just, everybody, it's crunch time. We've got 52 days to do this. So just get out there. Scott.
Great. Following up on that, we had a question from a member who said, our union officials and stewards in my local aren't really very vocal at my building about the strike vote. As a rank and file member, what can I do myself to get the building fired up about the vote and this contract?
I think exactly that. I mean, if people or the local leadership is not going to be very active and the members want to be, that's where you come in. Bring your own table. If you need materials, you can contact TDU and get the materials sent to you. I know there's not a whole lot of time with strike authorization, but turning people out, printing your own flyers. But the time is now where you should act. I know there are some locals that aren't doing much, but most locals are. And so be with the international. The international is urging you, turn out for the vote. If others don't want to, join in on that, that's on them. But this is the time. If we want UPS to take us seriously, I mean, we all got to be out there.
Thanks, Jared. Just one more quick question following up on that. With the in-person voting at union halls and at the gates, there are some people who are just not going to be able to cast the vote due to being on vacation or things like that. What are other ways we can get those members involved who aren't necessarily able to cast a strike authorization vote?
Well, if you can't vote, I mean, there's still going to be another around 50 days to do things, whether it be for a parking lot meeting or, a rally like we're planning to do. There's lots of things in terms of building that strike threat. I know voting is one very important piece of that puzzle, but there's lots of things that we can do. So if you're on vacation, disability, which we have a lot of folks that are on, they're not going to be able to vote. That said, give them still opportunities to get involved. You're going to have at the end some questions or the take action form, and that the follow-up will be things that you can get involved with, whether it be make UPS feel the heat campaign or something else. But the point is that make sure that you're out there at the gates. It's crunch time. Make it happen.
Great. We're just going to do a couple more questions, just two more, and then we'll wrap up. This one came up in a few different forms in the Q&A. How can we get, members are asking, how can we get a vote in the parking lot? If our local isn't doing it, how can we make that happen?
That's a very good question. I know a lot of locals. My local is hitting all the hubs, but not every local's like mine. And I've heard from a couple of folks around the country that they're only doing it at the union hall. And maybe in some places that's going to be really difficult. So what I would urge you to do, and I know others have done this, I'm not going to name names, but reach out to your local, have the members call to your local and put the pressure on your local to say, hey, look, part-timers can't drive an hour, during a shift to go to the hall. We're going to miss out on this. Bring the vote to the hubs. That's what we need. And I know some locals have changed their minds about that, maybe last minute, but it takes members to put that pressure on your local to make it happen.
Thanks, Jared. Anything you want to add to that, David?
I mean, I think that the attitude right now has to be about, I agreed with everything Jared said. It's just got to be about building participation. If you can get your local to, by putting on some pressure to hold the vote in the parking lot or making it easier for people to participate, great. If not, rather than kind of stirring up negativity, you got to find other ways for people to participate. And there are going to be plenty of ways. If you fill out the take action form, we'll give you a call and we'll talk you through some of those. One of those is through the heat campaign, and those signs and materials are going to be available. You can order them from TDU. You can get them from your local, but you can get them straight from TDU, and we'll send them to you. Coming up after that, we're going to be building toward more actions. You can be holding parking lot meetings. We have an ongoing petition to win, to make UPS deliver for part-timers. You can get those materials and palm cards from TDU. We have a campaign to win pension increases. You can talk to a TDU member or organizer about that by filling out the take action form. We're going to be distributing these groovy whistles, UPS Teamsters whistles, to blow the whistle on corporate greed, and organizing a series of actions around that. And then I think in July, we should be looking ahead to just practicing picketing. You know, if UPS wants to know what it will be like to shut them down, one of the ways that we can show early on that we're continuing to build that strike threat and strike readiness, have the t-shirts ready to strike, but also we can organize ready to strike rallies, and we can organize just practicing pickets where you have a picket line set up and you're not actually stopping work, but what you're doing is the signs say UPS Teamsters just practicing. And that'll send a real clear message that they can either settle a deal that addresses members' issues, or we're ready August 1 to shut them down. So I think, we've got to focus on that participation, and we try to make it as concrete and easy for people to do that. That's what TDU and UPS Teamsters United is all about.
Thanks, David. We're out of time for questions, so we got to move on, but fill out the take action form. Teamster member organizer will reach out to you if you have further questions, and we can talk more there. So turn it back over to you, Jared.
Thank you, everybody, for taking the time today and for taking action to build this Teamster strike threat and the contract campaign. After the call, you're going to get an email with the vote yes and strike vote leaflet and the question and answers. You're also going to get a take action form by text and email. Fill it out, and a Teamster is going to call you and get you what you need. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time today. Get out at the gates. Go. We've got 50 days, 52 days, and let's make it happen. Let's make history. Thank you, everybody.